At the Cow Palace in San Francisco, where we're watching a championship round game between the Chiefs and the Jolters, and we're moving now into the 8th and final period of play with the score of the Chiefs 44 and the Jolters 47.
I just want to mention that last camera shot there was not a commercial. We're not selling any products.
Jolters lead by 3, 47-44.
There we go. Jammer's trying to move out of the pack in the 8th and final period of play, and it's going to be Joe Perez. Jumpin' Joe is out first here for the Chiefs. In pursuit, Charlie Gibson giving the whip to Cal Stevens. The big man is out on the move this time. 220 pounds of muscle there, chasing Joe Perez, and Perez sees it coming, and Joe starts pouring it on. And he's got blocking by Bob Woodbury. If he can get up there fast enough, and he is moving. Joe Perez blocking by Woodbury. There's the point, and he cuts it off. Man, like a frightened deer that time, Jerry. Perez looked back and he saw that big man coming, and man, he really shifted into high gear.
You know, but you say shift into high gear, really that's the kind of skating you've been expecting from the Chiefs the whole game, and you haven't seen too much of it. They have the speed, and so far they just haven't used it. I do know that Bill Grohl is going to be the post-game show. You're going to be talking to him afterwards, and be interesting to hear what he's got to say about what Bob Woodbury joining this team. And I also wonder what he thinks of going against his former coach, Buddy Atkinson Sr., who now coaches the Midwest Pioneers.
Great and interesting series coming up for the Chiefs in their home territory. Gibson on the jam for the Jolters, and moving with him, it's Early John, number 47. Otherwise known as John Early. Early down low. One skate. And he finally ends up with the rail, and John Early moving, and he's got Bill Grohl to lead the charge of Jerry Cattell. John Early coming up fast. Bill Grohl 49 up ahead of him, moving on Jerry Cattell. There's John Early. Bill Grohl talking to John Early first, telling him what he wants him to do. They better move because Gibson will be a factor. If they don't, they're moving. Cattell slowing down. There he goes. Bill Grohl drew Cattell to the outside. John Early slipped by on the inside. And that was the point. Score now 47-46. That's using brains over brawn, Jerry.
And right away, Jerry Cattell knew what had happened. He's talking to John Early. But his coach, Cal Stevens, definitely doesn't want him to get a penalty.
This is a championship round game, and we're in the 8th and final period of play. The Chiefs and the Jolters. Coming up is Larry Lee with a great move, goes by Cal Stevens. Larry Lee out of the jam here for the Chiefs. 3 times in a row they've controlled the jam here. First 3 times here in the 8th period of play. They have the only man out again. Larry Lee moving on the pack. Bob Woodbury back there to block for him. Also Bill Grohl. Cal Stevens, number 8, is back there for the Jolters. Number 44, Larry Lee, is the man that can score. They're moving on Cal Stevens. A lot of blocking in there for Larry Lee. They hook him with the arms, and they take him down, and Lee goes by for the point. Lee moving on Stafford now. Plenty of time left. Stevens gets up there, hammers Larry Lee into the rail. They can't pass Stevens again for another point in this lap. Mike Moore up there in the jam, but Larry Lee cut it off before Mike Moore could get the lead. 47-47 is the score now. 1 point in there for the Chiefs. As I mentioned, you couldn't pass Stevens again for another point. They went by him once. He got up, went by the jammer, which meant he's still in the lap he was when he was passed, so you can't lap him again for a point. You could if you went around and got up with him going around the track again, but not staying in the same lap. 47-47 the score. 7-12 remaining here in the 8th and final period of play, and we got a tied-up game. Chiefs starting to click here now. Whipped hard. Mike Gammon by Lloyd Turpin, and he's out, but he loses it in the turn. And Gibson is out of there. Charlie Gibson, number 5. Boy, this guy is a good one. Chiefs were controlling it for a moment, but the whip did too much speed for Mike Gammon into the turn. Bill Grohl is out and moving here for the Chiefs. He's a half lap back from Cal Stevens leading the charge on Woodbury. Gibson goes by for the point, cuts off the jam. Big Cal with a jump block on Woodbury. Paved the way for that point. 48-47 is the score. Woodbury looking around. Round of applause there because Woodbury is not the best liked man in the San Francisco Bay Area. 48-47 is the score. The Jolters lead by 1.
Of course, Woodbury is from New York, and I know he's glad to get back there. He learned to skate under Buddy Atkinson Sr., and one of the first times was at the training center in the East. And I know any of the fans watching would like to learn how to get in this game, and where the training center nearest them is, write to Roller Derby Training Center, Post Office Box 1827, Oakland, California 94604. We'll send you this information.
Here we go on the jam, JoJo Stafford. With him, Larry Lee, number 44 for the Chiefs. Lee decked in there by Stafford. He's moving. He's got Jerry Cattell to block for now. They lead by 1. Stafford moving up. Jerry Cattell, number 9, to lead the charge. Bill Grohl back there to try and stop it for the Chiefs. Bill Grohl, number 49, great all-star skater. Cattell trying to block him out. Bill Grohl will not have it, and he puts Stafford on the deck. Larry Lee moving on the jam. He's coming up. He should still. Bill Grohl belted by Cattell. Stafford scores. Could be 2 points in there. It is 2 Jolter points on the play. 50-47 is now the score. The Jolters lead by 3 with 5:10 to go in the game.
You know, you can't help but feeling that this Jolter team is not going to let down. And right now, especially with the way the Chiefs have been playing, the Jolters have led almost the entire second half. And if Stevens, as I say, it's a young team, but if he can keep under control this last 4.5 minutes, they would appear to have this game wrapped up. And I don't mean it's just the 3 points, Walt. It's this ability to stay in there and come right back. So regardless of what the Chiefs score, I think the Jolters are going to stay right with them.
4:40. These jams are important now. It's Mike Gammon moving again. Gibson is with him. Gammon has to win this battle. Charlie Gibson on the inside. Mike Gammon, a great move. Down around the ankles. Gibson trying to stay up. Down he goes. Now out to join Mike Gammon. No. John Early was out of there, but he decided to slow down and block instead. They're leaving it up to Mike. They want to give him blocking help. Bill Grohl goes to the rail so he can get back there and lead the charge for Mike Gammon. The Chiefs trail by 3, 4:13 to go in the game. Bill Grohl leading the charge, moving on the muscle man, Cal Stevens, strongest man on skates. Look at him slide underneath, just laid a home plate. Bill Grohl with a whip to Mike Gammon, and he slid into home for that point. Right between the legs of the big man, Cal Stevens. Score now 50-48. The Jolters lead by 2, 3:52 to go in the game.
You have to talk about poise when you talk about the Chief team. They had a play set up there. John Early was not to go out in the jam. He came back in. They felt they were going to leave it up to Mike Gammon. It's a team that paces themselves and never seem to quite get out of it. They're certainly not worried by trailing by 2 points.
Oh, here we go again. And out of there comes Joe Perez in the jam this time. Mike Moore chasing him for the Jolters. Each team has a jammer out on the play now. The Jolters lead by 2, 3:19 to go in the game. Mike Moore being clobbered in the way. Joe Perez. Perez with the lead. Mike Moore stays on his skates, number 4 for the Jolters, though. He's been flying around that track. Perez lets him go by so he can come up on the inside, on the back with a block. Another block in there. Grabs the lead again, but Moore stays on his skates. Perez can't eliminate him. Now the hard block he does. Now Perez is moving. Jerry Cattell back there to block for the Jolters, though. Bill Grohl goes to the rail. He's back there now where he can lead the charge. Moving on Jerry Cattell, who puts Perez into the rail. So Grohl cannot get a shot to Cattell. Mike Moore grabs the lead for the Jolters on the jam. Perez coming right back after him, though. His time's running short on the jam. Mike Moore spun into the rail. Perez hit by Cattell. Bill Cattell hit by Bill Grohl, but not in time. Perez cannot get up and take advantage of it. Mike Moore moving on Bill Grohl as Cattell is blocking on Joe Perez. Mike Moore put in the rail by Bill Grohl. Cattell with a block on Perez. Mike Moore again hit by Bill Grohl. Time runs out. That's it. Oh, man, what a battle. And no points were picked up. The Jolters fighting every inch of the way. Stayed in there. Retained their 2-point lead over the Chiefs. That was a play that I thought the Chiefs were going to come back in, Jerry. But as you mentioned, the Jolters are fighting.
You have to admire this Jolter team. No matter what happens in this game, they have come so far this season from being a young, disorganized team at the start of the season. They do need a little coaching help. I really question their strategy this half of keeping their big guns in the pack. They've got so many of them, and sending out the young kids to go up against John Early and Mike Gammon and all the others.
Ted Tausche moving on John Early. They've cut the pack already. Early slammed into the rail by Stevens. Woodbury working on Tausche. Tausche working on Early. Early gets away. Woodbury the block on Tausche. There's Cal Stevens working on John Early. John Early battered again, put into the rail, fighting with Cal Stevens and score points in there. Woodbury keeping Ted Tausche. The Jolters moving in. Hard blocks. Tausche slammed into the rail. Early slammed into the rail. Stevens hits him with another lead. Oh, man, are they handing out the blocks? Tauscher's down. Early trips over the top. And Stevens again decks Early as he gets up. Tausche moving in. And Stevens pushes him on by, but Woodbury meets him with a block. Early slow to get up. Now they're working on Woodbury, but Woodbury slows Tauscher down. No points yet for the Jolters. Early's coming back in the scoring picture. Stevens meets him, decks him again. Stevens really handing out the blocks out there. And Bill Gross hammers Tauscher to the deck. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and no point scored. Oh man, was Cal Stevens ever hitting out there for the Jolters, and Bob Woodbury doing the job for the Chiefs along with Bill Grohl. It's still a 2-point lead here for the Jolters. Jolters refuse to fold under the pressure of the Chiefs here in the closing seconds, and I mean the closing seconds. 47 seconds left in the game. Now in this situation, it can go the full 60, but believe me, the Chiefs have to have the first jammer out. If the Jolters get the first jammer out, they'll skate out the time of the clock and cut it off. So the Chiefs have to get that first jammer out on this play to stay alive. They have to have that man out. And it's going to be Joe Perez. He's out of there. Jumping Joe. Mike Gammon with him. Mike Gammon blocking. Mike Murr over the rail. Gibson out there for the Jolters. Mike Gammon working on Gibson now. Mike Gammon showing you how he can do it all. Mike Murr gets on the track just in time before Perez passes and gets it put on the rail to Gammon. Perez moving on the block. Back to the block. Cal Stevens, this is it. The Chiefs are the only team in scoring position. They can tie, they can lose, they can win. It's up to the Chiefs right now. Stevens blocking back there. 30 seconds of jamming time left, though the game time has run out. And it's a pull away here by the Jolters. It's a pull away by the Jolters. Stevens back there to protect it. Larry Lee moving on it. 20 seconds left. Down is the Jolter. No, that's a Chief down. Bill Grohl blocking, that's it. Woodbury. They won it. They won it. Bill Grohl with a great block, but Cattell and Stafford both on the deck. And then both jammers went by. Both men scored 2 points for a total of 4. They actually picked up 2 more with Woodbury putting on a block before they called off the jam. What a win. The Chiefs fighting back all the way in that final period. Finally were able to pull that game out with great blocking by Bill Grohl and Bob Woodbury. What a win here for the Chiefs in this championship round game. Don't forget, I'm going to talk to Bill Grohl in just a moment. The score here, the Chiefs 54 and the Jolters 50. Bill Grohl, Bill, you're to be congratulated on a tremendous win here tonight over the Jolters. You put the pressure on them throughout that entire last period, but they didn't crack. You had to go out and beat that club.
That's right. I'll tell you, Jolters, I was in a way not really surprised. The Pioneers are an awful strong team. They knocked them off, in the first game the other night. But nobody was really paying attention to the Jolters. And I'll tell you something, that team there, you got to watch. They're big, they're powerful, they're strong, and we had to give it everything we had tonight to beat them.
I thought they might crack, but they fought you right down to the wire. That was a great win. You're going to have to face them in the East. Of course, first, you're going to have to face the Bombers back to the series after you open your homestand, Bill.
That's right. Well, we're starting out a new season, with the Bombers, and well, we got to get them, the number 1 up there. We got to get them right away. So we're ready for them. We'll be ready.
How about when the Jolters come back there and you have to face them in a whole series, not just one game?
Yeah, it's a lot different, really. You go into one game and you try to use different tactics, in different plays, because it's all or nothing at all, like on the playoffs here. But when you got a whole series, you can sometimes feel it out the first night or second, and you still got the remainder of the series to really, to take them on.
I know it's going to take a while for you to work Bob Woodbury into your system, get him the way you want him to skate out there, and yet I know from the flashes he's shown that he is going to be a big help to you.
Well, let's hope so. Tonight, I think there was a lot of improvement, but it was a matter of simply telling them, you either skate or you're out the door. That's it.
No paycheck.
That's what you got to do with Woodbury. It's no. You can't give him a second chance. You got to give him that one shot, and if he doesn't come through for you, get rid of him, because he'll be nothing but headaches.
Well, he was a big help in that finish tonight.
Yeah, that's true he was. It's just it's too bad he couldn't have jelled the first night.
Well, that happens, and I wish you a lot of luck, Bill. You've done a great job with the Chiefs, and you've gone out to get the big man that you needed. So I think in your series coming up against the Bombers and against the Jolters, and of course when you face the Pioneers with your old coach Buddy Atkins Sr., you got a lot of action coming up this year in the East.
That's right. I think it's going to be a real big season, and well, we got Woodbury, a big man, and we still got our eyes open for somebody else too, But we'll be right back. We'll get right back in form again.
Good luck to you, Bill.
Thank you.